Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. This is the Mic Drop Show. We're here every Wednesday morning, and I'm Mike Morawski, your multifamily bounce back coach. Every Wednesday morning, though, we're here to talk about real estate, the real estate business and life. Sometimes I bring on some amazing guests, and sometimes it's just like me, just like today. But after 3 decades in the real estate business, I've seen in 3 decades, holy cow, that's a long time, right? But I've seen some investors win big and lose hard. The difference comes down to strategy and timing. I was asked a long time ago, can you time the market? And I always believed for years, I really believed that you could not time the market. But today, I believe that you can time the market. Markets are cyclical. There's no geniuses in the real estate business. There's only market cycles. And market cycles go up and down. And they go up for 8 years, down for 8 years, up for 10 years, down for 10 years. You know what? We're in a market cycle on the backside at the bottom. It's going to be a short cycle this time, but we're going to have a long run in front of us where the market's going to start to rebound and come back. If you're an investor that's been sitting on the sidelines saying, I don't want to invest, you know what? I would reconsider. If you're an investor that's been saying, I'm not ready to jump into the multifamily business because I'm not sure where it's going. Well, you know what? After 3 decades in the business, I can tell you that we're going to rebound. And by the time CNN or Fox News or mainstream media start telling you that the market's changed, it's going to be too late and you're going to have missed it. So don't miss it. Start taking a look at the trends, look at the numbers. When you start to see GDP where it's at and unemployment where it's at and interest rates starting to move and the stock market at the highs that it's at, you know that things are starting to transition. And we're transitioning from that downside into the upside. And, getting involved today in the beginning is going to help you to recreate your business, recreate your financial position in life. You know what? I firmly believe we're in a place where there's going to be more millionaires made than ever before. And, the new millionaire is actually someone who is working a little bit harder today to get to that point. So my mission is to give you the tools to help you grow, to be smarter and to avoid mistakes that people make that could take you out of the game. So this morning, we're going to answer some questions, and I like to answer questions every week that come up. I always say that I'm kind of the what if guy. What if the markets don't change? What if rents don't go up? What if you don't get the population growth you're looking for? You always have to look forward at those. So, the questions today for this week came from my coaching clients that I work with. And they're questions that have come up a little bit more repeatedly. And I want to just kind of share some of those with you this morning. But one of my coaching clients from northern Wisconsin had said, how do experienced investors raise millions of dollars when I'm still struggling just to raise a few $1,000s? What a great question, right? You're a syndicator, you're in the multifamily business, you're trying to raise capital for a deal, and you see other people that are having better success than you. Maybe you're newer in the business, you don't have as big of a circle of influence, but you're building that, right? Because that's part of the process. I believe that when you go into multifamily business, you need to be building relationships and raising capital from day one. But it comes down to consistency and it comes down to credibility. So are you using social media? Are you being out there belly to belly with people, going to events, going to seminars, meeting new people, building your database? Elite investors show up the same way every time with a clear story, clear intentions. And I really believe that our intentions are what really drives us. but they know the story, they know the deal, they know the structure, and they're very transparent about their own life and about the sponsorship or the team that they're working with. They don't wing it, right? If you're out there just trying to wing it and kind of being haphazard or halfway about it, it's not going to come together for you. It's not going to work for you. So you've got to be out there really doing the same thing. Let me just, if you're somebody who says, man, I really need some more information about raising capital. I really need to be connected with some other capital raisers. Well, remember, I just want you to know that on October 16th and 17th, my annual multifamily summit is coming up. And I have a capital raise panel that's going to be on October 16th. Michael Wagman Michael Wagman is going to be running that panel this year. Omar Ruiz, Ace Billions, they're going to be people on that panel that are going to talk about the capital code, how elite multifamily investors consistently raise millions of dollars. This session is going to show you how the pros really scale their capital raising effort in their business. And I'm going to sit in on that panel also with them. I've raised millions of dollars over the last several years from investors investing in real estate assets, and trying to be a good steward of those investor dollars is really important, and one of my biggest missions in the multifamily space. As much as I love teaching and helping people grow, bringing these events to the marketplace, being a good steward of those investors and their invested dollars is really important. And I want to work with you on being able to do that. We're going to talk a lot about that on the panel on October 16th at the summit. So the next question I get a lot, and this is interesting. It always seems to come from somebody who's not really newer in the business. They've done their first or second multifamily deal, but they're stuck. They're stuck in that analysis mode, right? Oh, maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe it's not going the way I should be going. Maybe I could be doing this or should be doing this. Maybe I need more education. In reality, what you really need is you really need to just finally pull the trigger, continually take action. You know what? The first deal we do is the hardest. It's where all the unknowns are. I say that we work in 4 quadrants in our brain, right? We know what we know what we need to know, we know what we don't know, and we don't know what we don't know. And I really love to spend time in that quadrant, right? That we don't know what we don't know, because you really never get it or understand it till you take the action and you come up face to face with that next obstacle. You come face to face with that next situation that you have to look at. But the first deal is the hardest because it's full of those unknowns. So you got to break it down into steps. Find a mentor, get a coach. If I had it to do all over again 3 decades ago, I would have got a coach right out of the gate. I would have went right in the apartment business and not spent 15 years on the residential side. But set a realistic target for yourself. The biggest risk is waiting too long while opportunities just kind of pass you by. So this year at the summit on October 16th, Mike Angelo is going to be speaking at this event. But he's going to talk about how to launch your first deal, how it's built, how to get this for the exact opportunity that exists, and what you really want to get out of that first opportunity, and what you want to provide for your investors if you're syndicating those deals. So make sure that you are at this event. Listen, great panel. Mike Angelo is going to be speaking. I have some other really big name speakers that are going to be at the event this year. But if you want to get a full schedule and a full look at the 2-day event, it's a virtual event, by the way. It's going to be online. You can be at home, be in your office. If you're not there for the whole thing, it'll be recorded. You can get a copy of it. But you can go to multifamily25, that's multifamily25.com, and register for the event. Seats are filling up fast. So it's been a great year with people who want to participate. I think there's a pent up demand in the marketplace right now for investors wanting to learn, wanting to grow. What do I do next? How do I get to the next phase? How do I scale? All those types of questions. I love this question that came in. This is from somebody who is a big developer, been in business for, a number of years. His family owned business. And, he asked me the other day, he said, should I ever sell or should I just hold forever? And, I believe there's two philosophies. There is the philosophy that you hold 3, 5, 7, 10 years, or you sell or you hold forever. I had somebody on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, who wrote a book on real estate investing and creating millions in real estate investing. And he talked about, he's been in and out of about 200 residential single family transactions. And that was my number. I had done 200 fix and flips, buy and holds, burst strategy models, investment deals, foreclosure bailouts. Over the years, I had done 200 of those before I went in the apartment business. And this gentleman talked about the first 3 single family homes he ever owned. He still owns them today, 30 years later. And I think that's a great philosophy. I think the longer you hold properties, the more cash flow they provide for you, the more opportunities to pull cash out tax-free. But if you're worried about taxes and you're worried about selling sooner, there is a model out there called the 1031 exchange. And the 1031 exchange, it helps you knock those taxes down the road. On October 17th at the summit, Michelle Fitzpatrick with Northern Bank is going to be the speaker, and she's going to be talking about 1031 exchange strategies. She's going to break down exactly how they work, the exact timelines you need to achieve, and what it does for you and for creating generational wealth for years to come. So, if you're somebody who's in that quandary, hey, do I sell? Do I hold? Should I sell? What do I do if I sell? This model could be beneficial for you. And if you don't know about it, it might be a place for you to come get a little bit of knowledge. So again, register for the summit. Another question that I got this week was, I keep hearing about extended stay properties. Are they really worth looking at? This is kind of interesting because what kind of extended stay, right? Extended stay hotels, long-term rentals versus short-term rentals. What exactly is that and what's happening? But extended stay is an outperforming traditional model in many markets around the U.S. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the heartland, in the Midwest, if you're on the East Coast, the West Coast, this model works in many markets, but it's higher occupancy, it's longer leases, it's better margins, and it can make a hidden play. I'm going to love to hear this speaker at the summit this year, Jen Maldonado, who is just a firehouse full of knowledge and somebody who's just so passionate about the business. I'm going to love to sit in on her session this year, but she's going to be talking about smart capital's hidden play and where smart capital is putting their money today. One thing I always say about investing in real estate is take a look at what the smart money is doing around you. And is the Warren Buffetts of the world or the Blackstones or BlackRocks of the world, what are they doing right now? When you see BlackRock go out and buy $10 billion worth of real estate, that should tell you something about the market, right? That should tell you something that somebody's seeing that we might be overlooking as a little player in the marketplace or a medium player in the marketplace. But you're going to learn what you need to know, where you can find these deals, how you can find these deals, and what they will do for your portfolio. So October 17th, the session on smart capital's hidden play. Why extended stays are outperforming and will open your eyes to this niche in the marketplace. Super excited about being part of that speaker. So remember, October 16th and 17th, the Multifamily Summit. Don't miss a minute of this. I have 20 speakers and panelists back to back from around the US that are going to talk about different strategies, getting started, staying in the business, doing your first deal, and then a panel that's just going to talk about, billions of dollars in transactions. Yes, with a B, billions. Last question for today. Once you syndicate deals, how do you stay compliant with all the legal rules? Great question, right? We're always wondering about the legalities. Thank God for my partner. I am very grateful that I have a great partner in my life, and she really takes care of the business, the compliance piece of the business. Handles the LLC agreements, handles the syndication documents, works with the syndication and real estate attorneys, handles the marketing, handles the investor paperwork, investor portals, and, really keeps us legally doing what we're doing. But here, the short answer is don't wing it. Legalities around syndications are very important. They require proper situations, disclosures, and compliance. A sloppy setup can ruin your deal and your reputation. So on October 17th, Dugan Kelly is going to be teaching legal structures and syndication compliance. He's one of the most trusted legal minds in the industry and out there today. He's our attorney. He's who we use in our syndication business, and absolutely love him. Can always, you have a little question on something, pick up the phone, get a hold of them, and be able to get those questions answered. So, this goes back to relationship, right? Who are you working with? Who's on your team? Who's in your circle? The summit's going to help you build your team. It's going to help you build your network of people around you. There's going to be the night before on the 15th, we're going to do a VIP event. It'll all be online. So bring some snacks and bring, a cocktail or a cup of coffee, whatever. And we're going to, network. We're going to meet people. We're going to talk about what people are working on and what they're doing these days, what the markets look like, and kind of a pregame show, right? So participate in the pregame show this year. Upgrade to VIP and be able to participate in that. Meet some people that can help you drive your business forward. So that's a wrap for today. This is the Mic Drop Show. And remember, we're here every Wednesday morning, 7:30 Central, or I'm sorry, 7:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Central. So yes, it is early here. Just got back from the gym, getting into some coffee and really getting into the day. So I'm glad that I got to spend a few minutes with you this morning and got to spend some time and maybe give you a couple tips or a couple nuggets that might help you. My thing is, let's get the knowledge we need to get. Let's be held accountable to the actions we need to take, and let's accelerate together. As we come out of this market cycle, there's going to be a lot of great things that are going to happen for a lot of people. And are you going to be one of those people that is going to take advantage of it? Whether you're a passive investor, whether you're an active investor, or whether you're meeting together on the same platform. So I look forward to seeing you on October 16th and 17th. Remember that Multifamily Summit. This is our sixth year, and it's online. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from top names like I talked about this morning: Michael Wagman, Omar Ruiz, Ace Billions. If these are people you haven't heard of, you need to hear them, right? Because they're doing millions of dollars in capital raising. They're doing billions of dollars in acquisitions. Hey, Michael Angelo, Michelle Fitzpatrick, talking about 1031s. Jen Maldonado is going to be talking about, that secret niche strategy. Dugan Kelly. And listen, one person I didn't talk about this morning that I really want to mention, Ryan Bakey. Ryan Bakey's become a good friend over the years. He's a tax strategist. He's going to talk about how do we use these assets to our advantage to put more cash in our pocket along the way. How do we get more out of our real estate deals and to learn more? So even if you're not in the multifamily space, maybe you're in retail or an office is coming back with a vengeance, but or single family, Ryan is somebody to listen to that's going to give you full details on how to do that. So go to multifamily25 and get registered today, and register for VIP so that you can be at the event on the 15th, the evening before. We're going to do a couple hours of question and answer, networking, introductions. So it's going to be a great event. A lot of the speakers will be there for that as well. So, hey, looking forward to seeing you here a little bit in the next couple of weeks, a little later this month. Before I go, I have a couple of things and a couple of people I want to acknowledge. First of all, tomorrow morning, Thursday, October 2nd, I believe, I am doing a live event with Joe Fairless from Ashcroft Capital. Joe and I are going to get on. We're going to do a podcast live. It will be recorded if you can't attend, so it'll be downloaded and played a week or so later. But if you're on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're at, drop in and listen to Joe and I tomorrow morning. We're going to talk a lot about multifamily investing. You know, Joe is with Ashcroft Capital and runs the Best Ever Conference, which is a great event. Yeah, I was always wondering about that name, but it's a great name. So try to make it tomorrow morning for the live. Today's Mic Drop show is brought to you by Sync VA, where we help real estate pros streamline and scale their multifamily or real estate business. If you're looking for an executive assistant, if you're looking for social media marketing people, if you're looking for call centers, if you're looking for deal or closing coordinators, whoever you're looking for, Sync VA has a solution for you. We help you place the right person to meet your profile to match your business to help your business grow. We're also sponsored this year by CSSI, experts in cost segregation and tax strategies. CSSI, Cost Segregation Services Incorporated. Kevin Cawley is awesome there, but reach out to Cost Segregation if you are looking to accelerate your depreciation. And then, of course, Resilience Equity. Reimagine your financial future with real estate by investing in real estate. Go to resilienceequity.com. Take a look at what they're doing there to build their passive investor platform, and have a couple of great downloads out there that you can grab that could help you maybe a little education wise. So, but we'll be back next Wednesday morning. Bring your coffee. Tell somebody about this show. Bring a guest. Bring a friend. Bring your partner. Bring your questions. If you have questions, shoot them to me during the week. If you're somebody who'd like to be a guest on this show, reach out, let me know, and let's keep building your multifamily future. Hey, I'm Mike Morawski, your bounce back coach, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. And again, if you need anything, just reach out.